Okay, this next lesson is going to present two more inverse markers, and that is the inverse of I see him, but conjunct, and you see him. So he sees you and he sees me. So these ones, just because they don't seem to directly connect to anything else, can often be a real challenge to learn. So I'll give you a whole bunch of examples. Okay, let's think of some new words to use. Okay, Nimue Mao. Nimue Mao is I like him. Okay, so Nimue Mao, and he likes me. He likes me would be Nimue Mick. Nimue Mick. Nimue Mick. I think well of him. I like him. Okay, Nimue Mao. Nimue Mick. Nimue Mao. Nimue Mick. Then you would be Kimue Mao. Kimue Mick. Kishagehao. You love him or you love her, or Kishagehik. And I think that's in the song. What is that? Da 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 da. Kishagehao, Nishagehao, Nishagehik. Ba ba da ba ba ba. Anyways, go. Those would be that. Those are the independent things to go back and forth. And the way that I studied them was just by repeating the two. Just kind of repeat them back to back. Kiwapa Mao, Kiwapa Mick. I see you, he sees me. And it's good to think, you don't want to learn this as a direct translation of the English to Michif. So, a good way to do this would be to say, imagine yourself and another person talking to each other, and you say, and you simply imagine that I look at you and think of doing the action, Kiwapa Mao, I see you. And then think of their eyes looking at you, they see me, Kiwapa Mick. Noapa Mick. Noapa Mao, Noapa Mick. And then you could do the same thing. Think of another person next to you, looking at that person. Kiwapa Mao, Kiwapa Mick. You see him, he sees you. Kikanoapa Mao, Kikanoapa Mick. You're watching them, they're watching you. Or you're watching him, he's watching you. So, again, you want to try and always practice in a way that isn't a direct English translation. It's far more conducive to gaining a functional use of the language. Okay, now the conjunct of these is where it gets more complicated. Now, um, let's see. So we already have basically gone over. Have we now? Let me just double check here. I think we've gone over this already. Maybe not. All I know is that this is the two nastiest little bits of the language. Oh, I don't even have that in there. Okay. All right. I am now going to present to you the four, in my opinion, most annoying little things to keep straight that you will ever have to learn with this language. Probably. And that is the four conjunct endings for I see you, you see me, he sees you, and you see him. So you see him and he sees you. So first, I'll start with I see him and he sees me. Nuapa Mao, Nuapa Mick. Conjunct. I've got to see him, or it's impossible for me to see him. Pas moyen, Chihuapa Muck. Pas moyen, Chihuapa Muck. And then the inverse. Pas moyen, Chihuapa Mit. Pas moyen, Chihuapa Mit. So pas moyen, Chihuapa Muck. Pas moyen, Chihuapa Mit. Moyen Gashkatan. Chipagamahuak. Moya Tagashketao Chipagamahuit. I'm not going to be able to punch him. He's not going to be able to punch me. I don't like it that I know him. Nuita Toshke Mao. I work with him. Wheat. Well, I won't go with that one. Okay. It's hard to know him. I'll say that. Ayaman Chikshke Mak. It's hard for me to know him. Or Ayaman Chimyukshke Mak. It's hard for me to know him well. Or it's hard for him to know me well. Ayaman Chi miokshke mit. Ayamanchi miokshke mit. It's hard to see him. No, it's hard for me to see him. No, that's not a good one. Moya. Okay, Sopran Ditehten Mashkuch. I think maybe I love that. I love her. Okay. Ditehten or Je pense Mashkuch. Je pense Mashkuch. Emiu mak. Eshagehak. Je pense Mashkuch. Eshagehak. I think maybe that I like her. Je pense Mashkuch Eshagehak awala fi. Or the inverse, I think maybe she likes me. Je pense Mashkuch Eshagi hit. Or Shagi hit. Je pense Mashkuch Eshagi hit. Je pense Mashkuch Eshagi hit. So that ak ending, you can spell it ak, or the it ending, it, that's the conjunct for I to him or him to me. Now, the next set, which is equally confusing, is you to them and them to you. So I'm going to have, okay, so we'll start with I don't think that you see him. Je pense pas et wapa mat. Je pense pas et wapa mat. I don't think that you can see him, that you see him. And so that at ending is at, it's a short a. Now if I say je pense pas et wapa mat, je pense pas et wapa mat, that would be I don't think that he sees him. That long a vowel there at the end would make it a third person to another third person. So I don't think that he sees him. Wapa meo, he sees him. Pigo chiwapa mat. Kiwapa mao, you see him. Pigo chiwapa mat. Chiwapa mat. So the difference of vowel length is is the only thing that separates the conjunct of that, or as you see him, or as he sees him, and that's quite confusing. So, anyways, je pense pas is I don't think, but you can also say moya na nakatawe no moya ndete ten. Moya ikushi ndete ten. Well, just stick with je pense pas. I don't think. It's a good expression and we use it all the time. Je pense pas eshagehat. I don't think you love her. Now the inverse, here's where it becomes fun. Je pense pas eshagehishk. Je pense pas eshagehishk. And that ending is ishk, ishk. So I know him. He knows me, but I don't think he knows you. Oh, gshke mao, pi gshke mao, pi gshke mik, gshke mao, pi gshke mig, maga moyer spans gshke mishk. I know him, he knows me, but I don't think he knows you. Oh, gshke mao, pi gshke mik, maga moyer spans gshke mishk. But I don't think he knows you. Or I would say you know him, and he knows you, but I don't think he knows me. Kikishke mao. Pikishke mik. Maga moyeshpasek mit. I don't think he knows me. So there you are. Those four endings, well, in the conjunction with at, they're all tiny little endings and they carry a lot of meaning and they're really hard. It took me a long time to get them straight in my head. So what I would recommend doing for them is make flashcards of like niya, uya, I, him, and wiya, niya, him, me, niya, kiya, I, you, kia, nia, and just make yourself a set of flashcards, writing, and then start creating sentences, practicing sentences, doing them back and forth. Now, I would say, do me an exercise where you write it out as well, like I see him, he sees me. It's necessary that I've got to see him, or I don't think that. I don't know. Any sort of sentences in conjunct. Why does he know you? Why is it that he knows you? e kanawapa mishk. Why is he watching you? Tanihke e wapa mat. Or tanihke e kanawapa mat. Why are you watching him? Tanihke e kanawapa mit. Why is he watching me? Tanihke e kanawapa mak. Moengishke ten. Why am I watching him? I don't know. Tanihke e kanawapa mat. Why are you watching him? I don't want to know. So anyways, that is that section. That is those four endings. And as you can tell, this is not a very long lesson, but it's an awful lot of information for you to all put together and get to know good. So a good lot of practice, and I would even say, yeah. Okay, that's it for that one.